Hello, and welcome back to Groundwork Foundations. Have you ever felt disconnected from yourself or the world around you, like you're watching from the outside? If so, that's called dissociation. And today, we're exploring what it is, why it happens, and how it affects mental health, especially within LGBTQ plus, BIPOC, and second generation immigrant communities. We'll discuss the different types, how it's tied to identity and cultural experiences, and ways to manage and heal. Dissociation is a mental process where a person feels disconnected from their thoughts, feelings, memories, or surroundings. It's often the brain's way of coping with overwhelming trauma or stress. However, while disassociation can happen to anyone, experiences of systemic oppression, discrimination, or cultural disconnection can heighten its occurrence. Depersonalization is feeling detached from your body or thoughts, like you're observing yourself from the outside. Derealization is a sense that the world around you is unreal or dreamlike. Dissociative amnesia is difficulty recalling important information about yourself, often tied to trauma. And then we have dissociative identity disorder, or DID. It is the presence of two or more distinct identities or personality traits. Dissociative identity disorder was previously known as and recognized by many as multiple personality disorder or split personality disorder. It's the experience of having multiple distinct identities, where some may feel like they have more than one person living inside their head. I've had some people report they directly address the various identities by specific names. Dissociation can be a defense mechanism that involves disconnecting from reality to cope with emotional trauma or stress. Some possible triggers include trauma, particularly in childhood, such as abuse, neglect, or bullying, traumatic events like war or natural disasters, stressful situations, emotional overwhelm, or past abuse, relationship conflicts, or encountering something that reminds you of a traumatic event. Systemic stressors like racism, homophobia, transphobia, or cultural erasure. And more specific to second gen immigrants, it can feel like being caught between two cultures or pressure to live up to family expectations while navigating cultural dissonance. It can happen when you're simply focused on something else, almost like being on autopilot, not really recalling how you got from point A to point B or C. But it can also be a more intensive experience, happening frequently and disrupting your daily life. Now we have the impacts for the LGBTQ plus, BIPOC, and second gen immigration communities. For LGBTQ plus, experiences of discrimination, rejection, or trauma related to coming out or existing in a non affirming environment can lead to dissociation. For many LGBTQ plus individuals, dissociation may be a response to the fear of not being accepted or feeling unsafe in their identities. For BIPOC, the impact of generational trauma, systemic racism, microaggressions, and internalized oppression can contribute to dissociation. Living in a society that invalidates your experiences or dehumanizes your identity creates a need to emotionally check out at times. It's a survival strategy. With second generation immigrants, they struggle with identity, cultural expectations, and pressure to succeed in a different cultural framework, and that can lead to feelings of being othered or disconnected. Dissociation can emerge when balancing the weight of your family's sacrifices with the challenges of assimilation and cultural belonging. Now we'll examine signs and symptoms. General signs are feeling like you're floating or observing yourself from the outside, a sense of distortion or losing time, emotional numbness or disconnection, difficulty concentrating or feeling like the world isn't real, memory loss, forgetting about, certain events, people, or time periods, emotional problems, which could include trouble handling intense emotions, depression, anxiety, or suicidal thoughts. And then we have unique nuances where LGBTQ plus, BIPOC, and second gen individuals may experience disassociation during moments of cultural or identity erasure, such as being forced to suppress their true selves or assimilate. Now, here are some coping strategies and practical tips. Grounding techniques, where you can use sensory tools such as touching a textured object, focusing on your breath, and that will help connect you to the present. Then you have cultural connection. For BIPOC and second gen immigrants, reconnecting with cultural traditions, languages, or foods can foster a sense of belonging. Then you have community support. LGBTQ plus individuals find safe spaces, affirming communities, or LGBTQ plus therapists. For BIPOC individuals, seek culturally informed mental health support and community spaces that center your identity. Therapy is another coping strategy. Work with a trauma informed therapist to unpack the root causes and develop strategies for managing dissociation. And then you have advocacy and education. Raise awareness within families or communities about the unique challenges LGBTQ, BIPOC, and immigrant individuals face. If you've experienced disassociation, know that you're not alone and your feelings are valid, whether you're navigating cultural identity, systemic challenges, or personal trauma. Healing is possible. Your identity and experiences are your strength, and finding ways to reconnect with yourself is a powerful act of resilience. We'd love to hear your thoughts or experiences in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations about mental health and healing.